Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, one of the leading providers of HR, payroll, retirement, and software solutions for businesses of all sizes. My name is Steve Boese. Company culture is not built only in the office, according to new reports. Amazon has become the latest major company to order staff to return to the office 5 days a week, effectively ending working from home at the $2 trillion organization. Just like JP Morgan, Dell, and Goldman Sachs leaders, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy cited strengthening company culture as one of the main reasons behind raising its in-office requirements from 3 days a week to full-time. However, a new report from consultancy PwC suggests that the move to full-time in-office work could have a different effect than the one intended. The Big Four firm conducted 13 months of research and surveyed over 20,000 business leaders, chief human resource officers, and workers for its new Workforce Radar report, and found that hybrid workers feel more included and productive than those who sit at their company's desks 5 days per week. While many companies are pushing for return to the office, it turns out that hybrid workers demonstrate the highest levels of satisfaction, the report notes. The researchers found that over 3/4 of hybrid workers feel like they belong, compared to 74% of fully on-site workers and 68% of remote workers. And similarly, 74% of hybrid workers report that they are engaged, and this figure drops to 72% for in-office workers and 63% for remote workers. These may seem like small differences, but they have an impact on company culture. A staggering 90% of hybrid employees reported that the culture at their firm promotes community, collaboration, inclusion, and belonging. And the idea that being on-site all day, every day is necessary to establish and sustain a strong culture is a myth, the report concludes. Don't be afraid to offer flexible options for fear of diminishing it. It might seem counterintuitive to build company culture by encouraging workers to spend more time away from each other and not less, which is likely one reason why so many CEOs are calling for more in-person work. However, in reality, when leaders enforce 5 days a week in the office rules, they often end up overlooking engagement activities like team away days and after-work socializing. When companies move to a hybrid schedule, they start implementing more purposeful efforts to replace many types of in-office engagement. And in the process, the hybrid experience leads to improved engagement with more touch points. Plus, nobody likes commuting to sit in the office to do the same job they could have done at home, especially not introverts. Experts note that only having to do it a few days a week helps workers make the most of their in-office days and maximizes their collaboration. And then there's having to deal with the personality clashes daily rather than in microdoses. Despite Amazon's call for workers to return to the way we were before the onset of COVID, PwC's research highlights that workers simply won't return to the old ways of working. In a cooling labor market, especially for tech workers, Amazon and other companies likely feel like they have more power and leverage to force employees back into offices, even full-time. But so many workers have grown to prefer the flexibility and work-life balance that remote and hybrid working allow. Amazon will assuredly see some short-term losses of talented workers. Those who can't or simply won't return to full-time in-person work still have opportunities at more progressive organizations that support a more modern and enlightened approach to work. We will continue to follow all the important topics and trends in the world of work here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. That's it for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors.